Hi, I'm Megan. I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Thanks for joining me for another video. It's Friday, so today I'll be filling you in on what I've been up to lately and what I have planned. And I have 3 makes to show you today. Last weekend I went to my cousin's wedding, and a few weeks ago I had asked you what dress I should make, and I got some great suggestions. Many of you suggested that I make the Pattern Emporium Spellbound dress, which I had been wearing in that video, because of how flattering and beautiful the cut of that dress is. When I pulled the fabric I wanted to use out of my stash, unfortunately I didn't have enough. So I was running out of time. I knew I had a couple different dresses in my closet that I could wear if I didn't finish. So the pressure was not high, but I decided I would make something that I had in a pattern I already had printed out. And so the option that I went for was the Patterns for Pirates Gala gown. This is a princess seamed dress with a 3/4 circle skirt. It comes with a couple different neckline options. It has a very deep plunging V neckline and plunging V back, or a slightly higher V neckline and slightly higher back. Comes with a floor length skirt with a big thigh slit, or a knee length skirt. I went for the deep V front and back and the knee length skirt, and I'm thrilled with it. My cousin's wedding was lovely, and I didn't take very many pictures except for the ones I took in the bathroom mirror at the end of the night. So it doesn't show you the construction and quality of the dress, so my apologies for that, but it does show you how much fun I was having. So I made it out of this really pretty foil print scuba that I had in my stash. I picked this up in either 2016 or 2017 in Phoenix at Joann's. It's a Nicole Miller foil print scuba, and I only had 2 yards of it. And I was still able to get the princess seamed bodice and the 3/4 circle skirt, which is a big skirt, out of it, with some very clever tetrising of the pieces. It's a non-directional print, so that really helped. And I didn't hem it either, because I didn't have enough fabric to lengthen the skirt, but unhemmed I knew it would hit me just right at the right spot. So I was just very careful when I cut it out that I would make a smooth curve, and I think it's great. I lined it with a bamboo cotton jersey remnant that I had, so I did have to piece that together, but nobody sees the lining. And I think this dress, it was fun. The foil caught the light of the candles. It was in a dark nightclub. It just felt great. The fit wasn't perfect. Patterns for Pirates drafts for a bustier, more curvy hourglass figure than I have. So I probably could have either taken it in on the princess seams, or I could have gone down a size for a tighter fit throughout the upper bust. Maybe done a small bust adjustment, maybe done fiddled with it a little bit, but because the fabric was so, there's so much going on with the fabric, it's such a busy print, and with the foil texture, the fit issue wasn't noticeable. If I was making this dress in a solid color, I absolutely would want to make sure that I nailed that fit on that upper bust, because a big wrinkle or gap, some extra fabric here, would really ruin the lines of the dress. You couldn't see my bra band in the back from that deep V. I'd never worn a dress that had that low of a back V or backline, neckline. But yeah, I felt pretty great in it. So I think I will probably wear this again when we go out to the theater, or if I ever go to a New Year's party or something like that. Because it's scuba, it's sort of a 4-season garment. But yeah, the Gala gown pattern, it's definitely suited towards beginner sewists and those comfortable with knit fabrics. So it's missing some more advanced techniques in the construction steps, like trimming your seam allowances, pressing, some different options for finishing. The way you do the lining it's fine. I think there's probably a more sophisticated way to finish the lining on this garment, but anyway, I made a cap sleeve, and it looked great. I felt fantastic in it. I also this week made a t-shirt, so I pulled this out of the laundry, so I apologize, it's a little bit wrinkly, but this is the Pattern Emporium Starstruck side tie tee, and I made this out of some boyfriend jersey that I got from the Fabric Snob. I had a 1 meter cut of this, and I have lots left over. So the cool thing about this top is that you actually cut out the entire, the body of the shirt in one big piece, and then you seam up the back. and it's got these ties, and you tie it at the high hip. This garment, the instructions tell you to size based on your upper bust and not to multi-size. My upper bust measurement and my excuse me, and my hip measurement are 2 sizes apart on the Pattern Emporium size chart. And so I was like, well, okay, I'll follow the instructions. Because you tie it right at the high hip, I think it fits. If I was going to make this again, and I will add probably about 1 centimeter to the back seam from the waistline down. So I'll just grade out a bit, just to give myself a little bit more room so that I can tie it a little bit lower and be just a little bit happier with the fit. So I think if your upper bust and your hip is 2 sizes or more apart, if your hip is 2 sizes larger than your upper bust for this top, I would consider multi-sizing. I will definitely be making more of these. I think that it's a quick sew. It was really nice and easy to put together. The boyfriend jersey is so soft. Like, I was able to get it out of 1 meter because it's also really wide. It's like 68 inches or 70 inches wide. But it feels like the t-shirts that you get at Old Navy or Banana Republic or Gap. Like, it's soft. It's a poly blend. I think there's cotton in it, but it's probably mostly polyester. But yeah, it's great for summer. So I've worn it tons with jeans. I've worn it with shorts. And I just think it's more than a basic tee, but it's not too much. And the way it's constructed, the way you cut it out, it was one of those really satisfying, like I had to think about it while I was doing it. It made my brain itch in a good way. So I liked making this one, and I'm going to make another one. The last garment I have to show you today is a Rhapsody blouse from Love Notions. So this I made, and it's also right out of the laundry. It needs to be washed, so it is wrinkly too, but it's made out of cotton voile from Fabricland. They have a bolt of this exact fabric in the clearance section at the Fabricland on Fisher Road in Calgary. So if you're watching this and you're in Calgary, I was at the Fabricland last night, the 12th of August, and it was in the clearance section, and it is lovely. And I considered buying the bolt, but it's such a bold, vibrant print that I can't imagine wanting to have more than, one garment in my closet out of this pattern of fabric. So anyway, it's there if you want it. I made the 3/4 bishop sleeve option, and the only thing I would change when I make this again, because it's a when, not an if, and I may update this version, is I'll just make the elastic a little bit longer. I'm also going to, if I make it again, add more length to the sleeve so that it cuts, here the sleeve ends right here, and I would prefer that the sleeve end here. And I have like short Tyrannosaurus arms, so it's unusual to me but I think that's just where they're cut to end. But I would like it to end sort of mid-forearm instead of right at the elbow joint, because then I think I could push it up and have more of a voluminous bishop or wear it down a little bit. It just would be more comfortable for me. I am so happy with this blouse. I did the thinner bias binding on the neckline. I think it finished beautifully. The burrito roll seamed yoke looks fantastic. I French seamed it all. I thought about using a bias hem, but I ran out of bias tape. And so I just serged it with my multicolored looper thread and then hemmed it. And it's great. I think this looks so sassy tucked into my new high waist flared jeans. It gives me some really solid retro vibes, but also still really modern. I've seen a lot of blouse and jean combos like this lately on Instagram or Pinterest, and I think I just feel really, really sassy in it. The other thing about this blouse is that I had made the Rhapsody blouse right after it was released, and so probably 2016 or 17. And I was devastated. So I got really frustrated with that project. I couldn't figure out how to do the bias binding. I couldn't figure out how to do the French seams. The fabric I picked was awful. It was like a poly crepe, and it wouldn't hold a press, so the bias tape was miserable. It just didn't look right, and I ended up I finished it, and then I put it in my closet, and I didn't ever wear it. And then I stopped sewing for about 6 months because I was so frustrated. And to come back to this garment now, years later, and feel not only confident that I can do it, but it was easy for me. it was fun because of the details, right? Like the bias binding is a little bit tricky because it's very thin, but it's beautiful. Like I'm just very satisfied with it. So if that's you and you're watching and you're discouraged because the last garment that you made didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, or it had a technique you just couldn't get your head around, and you feel like quitting, it's worth it to persist. Go do something that's a little bit easier. Like take a step back and do a slightly more straightforward project. Find something you're really confident in doing. Even take a break, quilt or make some home dec or something. But do come back to it and know that you will get there. And it's that dip in learning progression. You have to go through that dip to build up the skills and confidence to keep going and stick with it, because it's totally worth it. I'm so proud of this blouse. I'm really proud of all of the things that I made this week. And I wouldn't have got there if I had expected to be very good at it right at the beginning. So anyway, totally gonna make another Rhapsody blouse. I think I'm gonna make a couple sleeveless ones because they would go well under cardigans or blazers for work. And I think it looks equally as good with my snazzy new jeans as it does tucked into, like, I have some elastic waist linen shorts that are not the Allegros. I didn't make them, I bought them, but it's very similar to that pattern or lots of the other elastic waist shorts and pants that are very popular in the summer right now. So yeah, I think this is a winner. They're all winners. I'm really happy with all of them, which is nice. It was really gratifying. So anyway, those are the makes that I have to show you. This week I am working on 2 pattern tests. So I'm working on a woven dress and I'm working on a knit top. I had decided to take a break from pattern testing for the summer. And I guess I decided that it's the beginning of August and so summer is over now or something, but I couldn't resist these 2 patterns. One is a re-release and one is in an extended size range, and one is a new pattern. And I think they're both going to be super fun. So I spent this morning prepping the woven dress pattern, like getting it all pattern all ready and the fabric cut out, and I'm going to start working on the knit top later today. I have to go print that off. And then we've got a pretty busy weekend ahead of us in terms of social things on our calendar. We have a fundraiser dinner tonight, my husband and I. We have a barbecue tomorrow morning with some friends. There's a couple street festivals we want to go to. We've had a fantastic couple of weeks. So we have been out and we've been doing things, swimming and going to the amusement park we have locally. Certainly, like, there's an element of being cautious, right? The situation, the pandemic we're in isn't over, but it is nice to be able to see people and see people I haven't seen for a really long time. Spend time together. It's been beautiful. The weather today is gorgeous. It's going to be hot. And yeah, I can't complain. So as we coast towards the beginning of the school year, I have some back to school sewing that I want to do for my daughter and finish up a couple of my summer projects. I did realize that, like, I had made a list of summer plans and I'm just not going to get to all of them. I certainly like checking things off the to-do list, but I also think that in equal measure, I'm a magpie and I'm like, ooh, new shiny project. I want to do that. And so I do need to balance. And I think, I have to remind myself, like, it's not about take your medicine because it's good for you. When it comes to sewing for me, it's, what do I want to make and what do I want to wear too? And so finding that balance. And there's a couple projects that, like, everything in my list of summer projects, I really did and do want to make. And I have the fabric for it, but I don't think I'm going to get there. So that black linen lyric dress that I had planned to make, so the button-down dress with that of black linen and with a tortoiseshell button, it's a timeless style. It's not going to go out of style. So I can make it next year, and I think I'd get more wear out of it at the beginning of summer instead of towards the end. Because here in Calgary, like, it could snow. Probably not tomorrow, but it could snow any day, right? Like, summer could come to an abrupt stop at any minute, and I should be looking towards what I want to be making for the fall. So I think you could probably expect to see some fall sewing plans from me in the near future. I'd love to hear if you're still sewing for summer. Are you sewing for summer? Are you sewing for fall? Are you sewing for winter? Are you sewing for spring? If you're on the other side of the planet from me, love to hear what you have planned and what you've been up to. And I did reach 1,000 subscribers last week, which was a massive milestone. And I still am surprised every time I log in and see that more of you have watched the video. I'm surprised that you have chosen to spend your time with me, and I'm very honored and quite flattered. So every like and every comment means a lot to me, and so I just wanted to thank you for being here with me. It's been a lot of fun. So anyway, I hope that you have a great weekend and that you are staying healthy and that you're happy, and I will see you again soon.